Welcome back to Autism Live. We're really excited because Samantha's got Skype all in order, and we have joining us via Skype Tyler McNamer. Did I get that right now, your name finally?
You got it right.
All right, fabulous. And Tyler is 22. I've been telling everybody he's 18, but he's 22. But he is an amazing author and an inspirational, motivational speaker. His book is Population One: Autism, Adversity, and the Will to Succeed. Tyler, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's start with, where can people get the book?
Well, people can get the book in one of two things. One thing is the easy part, where you get it on Amazon. That's the easy part. But the second part is that you can get it on my website at population1.com. What's really special about ordering from my website is that they all get a little signed copy for when they receive it.
All right, so if you order it from there, you're going to get a signed copy, which would make a tremendous gift in this holiday season. A signed copy of Population One: Autism, Adversity, and the Will to Succeed. And who better to hear about that from than somebody who has a diagnosis on the autism spectrum. You were diagnosed at the age of 2. You learned to overcome challenges and embrace the unique perspective that you could offer the world, and that's what the book is about. We love hearing about this. One of the quotes that we have from you, you say, "I have been blessed with autism my entire life. I have chosen to accept my label of autism not as a disability, but as an extraordinary ability. Knowing that this viewpoint could help those who struggle with being different, you have decided to write the book and inspire others." And we love this. You speak, you are available for speaking engagements, and I guess that people can have you speak at their engagement by going to the website, population1.com?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So Tyler, let's talk a little bit about, because we don't get as many opportunities as we would like to talk to somebody who is your age and has gotten through the challenges and have found the way to be positive. So I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what some of those challenges were. I'm sure that you were bullied at some point. How did you handle bullies, and what advice do you give to young people who are currently being bullied?
Well, bullying is definitely a no fun thing. I never really say, oh, I hate the bullies and stuff like that. I don't really say that. I just say I hate the act of a bullying. There's kind of a big difference. When I was younger, I thought they were the same, but no. When I was in middle school or high school, they're completely different things. So one things I would like to do, when it comes to bullying is that. You always, count on your teachers or the adults, because, when I was in school, those were pretty much, like my closest friends back in the day too, were just a bunch of these adults and teachers. And, feeling like, since they're so big and tall, I can trust them, saying, hey, this kid's giving me a hard time. I don't know what to do, that kind of stuff. And I always say that never be afraid to tell a teacher or your parents when it comes to this kind of stuff. And actually, one thing I did make very clear one time. This was actually very recent. I was very afraid to tell my dad, is that back in YMCA, it was a pretty terrible time. I didn't really quite, like that place. I was bullied, and the teachers didn't really help as much, and I didn't really tell my dad about this whole thing. The reason why I didn't do that is because I was afraid, saying, "Oh man, this would be a waste of money, and I should stay at this YMCA so that Dad doesn't have to, stress out about finance and such." But that was just me back in the day. So my advice is, don't worry about that and stuff. You gotta worry about yourself, worry about your safety, because no one deserves that kind of bullying treatment. And
that's great advice, Tyler, because I think a lot of times as parents, we just hope that our kids would tell us, and how great is it for us to hear from you that sometimes you guys don't want to tell us things because you're afraid of what we'll think about the money situation.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Great advice to give to the teens: make sure that you tell an adult. And if you're telling the teachers and the teachers aren't listening, make sure you're telling your parents. And great information for us to hear as parents, that sometimes you won't want to tell us something because you're afraid of what it will mean in terms of all the other things that you've heard us talking about, the money things. So I love that. And Tyler, let's transition a little bit to transitioning, because a lot of people are afraid of that period of time when school is over. They call it the cliff, because it's like, figuring out what to do once the services stop. So what was it like for you leaving high school and making that transition to adulthood? Because you've done a great job.
Yeah, thanks. Just a little quick add-in with the whole bullying thing
Sure.
is that it takes some real courage and some real it takes a really tough kid to actually stand up and just tell adults about what's going on. Don't be afraid. It takes courage. To tell adults.
Absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
gotta put that out. So transitioning from high school to adulthood, I'll be honest, it was pretty scary. It's a really scary thing. I'm not gonna lie. Not only because not because I didn't really know what to do and stuff too, because I got the book thing all taken care of, and so, I was thinking of going to the bookstore as a part-time job. I felt like I got a good gig and such. And I even kind of wrote a little short story about, end of school crisis, I called it, which is about, oh man, school's going to be over. I'm not going to see these familiar faces again. By familiar faces, I mean like, teachers and students and, the whole familiarity of the whole school itself. It's scary. You don't know what's going to happen next and such. So after graduation, I go to this place called it's called Adult Living Program, and that's the part where they say, hey, you need some extra help on getting a little head start on how to get a job and pay bills or that kind of stuff. Living on your own, that kind of thing. I had kind of a little bit of help on that kind of stuff. At first, I was thinking, oh man, this is ridiculous too. I thought I couldn't handle this by myself. But no, I kind of accepted the help, and it became a huge asset when it comes to doing that and doing community college at the same time.
And I think, Tyler, one of the things I see in you is that you have been so successful in part because you have utilized what services that were available and said, I might need help with this, I might need support with that. Let's talk a little bit about anger, because I'm sure that you, like everybody else, has frustration sometimes, and because communication at one point was something that was a little bit more challenging for you. What strategies did you use to calm yourself down and to deal with the frustration, and how do you deal with anger today?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, because anger was definitely a big challenge, throughout my, when I was a toddler and childhood, teenhood, and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty tough. I always kind of say that feel free to ask me what it's like to be a freak, right? And yeah, but yeah, it was pretty tough. Anger was just one of those things that just kind of gets you when people just don't understand you, or that people are trying to speak very slowly so you understand, that kind of stuff. That was really tough. It was no fun. So one of the strategies I would do, and this has happened for a long time during my school years, is that I would find an appropriate time to take a break, which means that you gotta find like a dark corner or someplace that's dark, or some place that's quiet, very spacey. And so I would just go to dark corner, and I would say stand up straight with a straight back, and then close my eyes, and then do some deep breathing. And that's one of the main things that I would usually do. Even today, I'd still I'd take the time for a little time out. And and when things get pretty challenging, and there's no like dark places or dark corners or anything like that too, and you're in the middle of something, then you just like take at least 5 seconds, to straight back, just take one big deep breath, and then just exhale just slowly, and that's what I usually do, and then you're easily recharged when it comes to anxieties and knowing how to go through this peacefully as well.
Great advice for all of us, Tyler. I don't think there's a single one of us who couldn't take, that advice and use it to our benefit, to take a break, to go to a place where there's not a lot of sensory stuff and take a breath and take a moment and center ourselves. Amazing. And this is one of the reasons why people should get your book, which is Population One, Autism, Adversity, and the Will to Succeed, or why they should reach out to you to have you speak at one of their events. And they can go to population1.com to find out more information about the book. If you order it from Population One, you will get a signed copy. If you go on Amazon, you can get a copy of it as well, but you're not going to get a signed one. And that doesn't make it as good of a gift as it would be if you had Tyler's signature in it. And unfortunately, we're out of time, Tyler, but I wanted to say before we left that you are currently working on your second book and a screenplay. When do we think we're going to know more about those?
Well, the second book is going to be a spiritual successor to the first book. I even came up with a title of it. It's called Joining Population One.
Join Population One. Well, we can't wait to hear more about that, Tyler. We are full on out of time. Samantha's playing me off here. But Tyler, we thank you so much. Again, check out the first book, Population One, Autism, Adversity, and the Will to Succeed. You can get it on Amazon.com, but better solution to go to population1.com, order it there, and then you'll get a signed copy, and you can read more about Tyler and what he is doing as a motivational speaker. Tyler, you're such a joy. I thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for letting me be on the show. This is a grand pleasure. Thank you.
It was a great pleasure.